Today the master plan was to get up at 5 o'clock this morning and go down to the buffalo market at San Petong, but unfortunately the weather had different ideas. About 11 o'clock last night it started raining, and not very long later it started thundering and lightning. The only thing missing was the strong wind. And now it's about 8 o'clock in the morning and it still hasn't stopped. It's only drizzling now, but it was a lot stronger than this last night. And that field you're looking at was bone dry yesterday. So thankfully at last we've got some rain. So the buffalo market will have to be put on hold. It only happens on a Saturday. So let's see if Saturday next week is a bit better weather-wise. So I'm going to have to think of something else to do for this week's video. And you may well end up with the thoughts of Chairman Ian. Right, Sunday now. The sun's out. Seem to be done with the rain for a little while. So I feel the need to get a few things off my chest. Namely what's happening in the world at the moment, in the past few months, because we seem to have descended into total insanity now. I mean, the CCP virus has gone beyond ridiculous now. The more developments we have, the more bizarre it gets. I mean, just picking the country I live in, not because I have a problem with it, but it's the only one I know the figures for. You shut a country down for the best part of 3 months on the basis of 58 people dying of a virus. Somebody explain the sanity of that to me, can you? Then you think that things can't get any worse, and all these racial tensions have come about now due to, admittedly, a horrendous killing of a guy in America, and the people who did it deserve to be locked away and the key thrown away, if not worse. But what has followed from it is just totally insane. And in fact 99% of it has got nothing to do with George Floyd. So why it's happened to the extent it has in England, England, UK I should say, being English there rather than British. Why it's got to the state it has now is just crazy for something that happened thousands of miles away. And I repeat, something that was horrendous and should be dealt with to the fullest extent of the law. But it doesn't warrant what is going on now. Do these people think that if they destroy depictions of history, that the history is going to go away? I don't know if I'm apologising for things that people from my country, from my ethnicity if you like, have done 200, 300, 400 years ago. I wasn't there, mate, you know? Nothing to do with me. I am aware of some of the very bad history. I mean, you can go back to the Crusades and apparently what went on there from the English, Richard the Lionheart and all his cohorts, was absolutely awful. Should I be held to account for something that happened, you know, getting on for 1,000 years ago? I don't see why. How does defiling a monument erected to the memory of people who died defending their country, how does that solve anything? How does writing Churchill was a racist on his statue solve anything? And on that topic, Churchill was born in the 1870s. So he went to school basically in the 19th century. And he's accused during his political life of saying racist things, and he probably did. The guy wasn't perfect. But at the time he went to school, I'm sure that most of us are familiar with Darwin's theory of evolution. When it was first postulated, Darwin said that white Homo sapiens was an evolved form of the black Homo sapiens, basically saying it was a higher level, which obviously is wrong and is now accepted as being wrong and has been corrected. But that's what Churchill was taught at school. So yes, by today's standards, what he said was wrong. But at the time, it was the accepted thing that was taught to people at school. And this organisation, Black Lives Matter, and no, I say the organisation, not the spirit of the statement. Of course Black Lives Matter, but White Lives Matter, Chinese Lives Matter, Brown Lives Matter. And let's go a bit further. Elephants' lives matter, tigers' lives matter, anything that is a sentient being on this planet, lives matter. All you're doing by setting up these factions is making the splits even wider. You're not solving anything. I just feel so frustrated by it all. I thought we got over all this. But of course it's been used by Mr. Soros and his cohorts to cause as much disturbance as possible. In America this is happening because they want to get rid of Trump, because Trump won't play ball with the establishment. Now, I'm no great fanboy of Trump, but you know, it's just ridiculous how the guy is vilified. He can be an obnoxious person. Churchill could be an obnoxious person as well. But that doesn't reduce the achievements he made. Not in my opinion anyway. And if the establishment, the police force, which is of comedic nature at the moment in England, if they carry on kowtowing to these left-wing anarchists, communists, call them what you like, then God help us. I decided to watch 1984 the other week. I thought I'd actually seen it before, but I hadn't. And believe me, if you haven't seen it, watch it, because that is what we are heading for if these people get their way. We seem to have got to the stage now where calling someone a racist is a default. I think I've told you before, I used to drive a London bus. I drove a selection of London buses actually, and this was pretty commonplace. Didn't happen every day, but probably once or twice a week. Someone gets on the bus of colour, walks on, tries not to pay. You call them back saying, excuse me, you need to buy a ticket, and the response you get is, you're a racist. Say this was a common occurrence, a couple of times a week at least. Please, let's stop this stupidity. You will get to a situation, if these guys win, you'll have no rights, no nothing. It will all be taken away from you. Government will run your life. You won't be able to do anything by thinking for yourself. You'll just do as you're told. If that's what you want, fine, carry on. Hopefully by the time that happens, if it does, I'll be long gone, because I don't want to live in a world like that. I married someone of a different colour. She had 3 kids, all Thai as well, and I took them on, brought them to England, and we also have a kid of our own who's mixed race. And I just look at them, my kids, you know, and their kit, their nick, their pen and their burn. I don't look say, oh, this one's brown, this one's white, you know. It's absolute bollocks, quite frankly. So let's get a grip, eh? Let's not go down that road that leads to oblivion. Because believe me, it's not going to be something that you're going to enjoy. Okay, rant over. Most of my videos aren't like this. They're mostly visiting places around Chiang Mai, going out on the bike, stuff like that. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't, and I understand that there will be people who won't, feel free to give us a thumbs down. And if you really didn't like it, click the thumbs down button twice. Always grateful to anyone who subscribes, so if you feel like doing that, I'll be very pleased. Thank you. Anyway, thank you for watching, and hopefully the next video will be from the Buffalo Market at San Patong, which is where this one was originally meant to be from, though the content would have been different. And we'll be back to normal service being resumed as soon as possible. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.